Hello, Prajwal.
Hi, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Think good, yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, so it's lovely to have it, yeah. Thank you for inviting me. So that's great.
Okay, good. So maybe we can start there. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about
Okay,
yourself and your background a little bit and what you do.
okay, sure. So myself, I'm a Prajwal from Nepal. So Nepal is we are the indigenous peoples with the origin people from Kathmandu Valley.
Mhm.
And we're living in the Kathmandu Valley for decades, like thousands of years.
Mhm.
Even my whole histories, if you look into our history, we are belong to the courtyard, belong to the university they called back in old days. That means that they call it Bihara or Mahabihara.
Mm.
Those Bihara is been established in my Bihara. It's been 2,200 years before. So that's the lineage been continues to practice this dance traditions, this yogic tradition. This is the invoking the deities and embodiments of deities. Those practice been thousands of years been carried on, and so I became somehow like I don't know. It's my father is here behind me.
Mm.
So my father's was the revolution, we have a lot of changes in the political changes. And during the political changes, so this dance, this meditation, this embodiment, this practice in the sadhana, everything's go underground, and then they live it for hundreds of years. So we country itself, like the different religious comes and they wash it up. They don't want to be promote our tradition, so they go underground and practicing for decades again.
Mhm.
And then my father's like, wow, this is a wonderful art. This is a wonderful wisdoms. Every little things you do with the wisdom, you connect to embodiment with this. So this is really wonderful to share with everybody. And we are the people like we call the priests, and we are also the high, in Nepal, like they have a caste systems, which is like a little bit high levels. We are in high level.
Mhm.
And so they keep in like at a high level, you cannot teach to the low levels. So my father come like, hey, this is all a human being here. There is no low levels and high level. You cannot make it this. So my fathers decide to have the teachings for a Westerner, teaching for a low caste, teaching for everybody. And then lots of people have a problem because the country itself with people have the very narrow-minded. They've been built in the over a decades for
Mm.
many centuries. So my father, as a scholar, he also many book has been written. So he tried to promote those things. This is the wisdom art. Everybody should feels in the body. Everybody should understanding the compassion, kindness through with the body, and you can share to everybody. So my fathers have making that revolution change in 50s. Basically it's a start from the 70s, not even 50s. So 70s. So 70s, this is the revolution change. And so I came out to the world like okay, I'll take over to the world. So I came to Americas in the 25 years before. Before that I was being invited for the Richmond University. That's with the 1994. Then I was started coming I got an invitation for a Buddhism in America conference with the 98 and 2000s. And then like, wow, this is wonderful culture and nobody does what I do. So I became as what do you call, like the extraordinary talent green card, which means, they give me as the extraordinary talent so you can live here with the legally.
Mm.
So and then I just started living here, and then nobody knows what I do. That's also the other part. And even like a lot of people doesn't know Nepal. All the Buddhism been taken by the Tibet, and everybody knows like, oh, Buddhism either to go to Thailand, either go to Burma. They have a certain Buddhist tradition. But when I say that Nepal, oh, Buddhism, oh, they don't have a Nepal Buddhism. So that's why it just struggle life in a moving with the struggle life. So when I came here, I didn't know how to survive. So, and then I try to just to get to survive. I start to painting the houses. I start to be a boss boy. Working in a boss boy. Then I got a job in a tea house. I started working in a tea house, and then like this doesn't work in my life. What I am, that's not what I'm doing. So I just like I start to. I didn't have that much in the computer skills. In Nepal we don't have that much computer skills. So I have a photos which like my dancing pictures. I just cut it in a scissors and paste it in, and then write in my own like okay, secret dance of Nepal. And then make a photocopies and keep in the post in the coffee stores and the pools. So we can learn in a dance, meditations. So that's why I advertise little by little. And I've been using the studio with the yoga studio space, but it doesn't make any money. Like there's only the 4 people's always, and then so you pay for all the money goes there. There's doesn't work. So then I have like this doesn't work. Well, only few people. Why not? I'll do start in my own apartment. So I have tiny apartment in a Portland. And so I started teaching, and then, well, they all come to learn. So why not? I'm going to make some food for them.
Mm.
So I started making food for them. We spend more time to the students, and then to try to teach with the inner practice with this dance traditions or this Buddhist tradition. And so that's became like wow. This person doesn't charge anything. He gave you food. He gave you teaching. So this is what it is. So people are interested in what I do. So then I started touring my students to Nepal. Mm. Well, this is my situations. This is my country. This I grew up. This is a house. This is a traditions. It's been slowly not that much been promoted. So and people came there like wow, this is amazing. We need to revive this tradition. So. And then some students, so they donate the Helen, one of my dearest friends and my dearest inspirations. So they gave me build a temple here in Portland. So we have a beautiful carves, and then we go back to the 1,000 years in a temple. So we brought it whatever is needed and require we needed for to build the temple. So we brought it everything from Nepal. And it created this beautiful temple. So it's been 15 years right now that temple been running. And so now, yeah, it's been going well. So that's why I live, that I teach, that's I do perform, that's I do also that I'm a priest. So I have lots of rituals I do for people. So like people get sick, people get a problem, people get also the life circle rituals as in being a Nepali. So birth all the way to death. So that's what we do rituals in the temple as well. So we have a space, and so we host the money teacher, and also music concert. It's happening always. So many things. We keep that space to keep alive. We have also a beautiful library there. So yeah, that's been moving on. So that's what I'm doing those days. So
wow, what a story.
It is, yeah. My book is coming out, my life history book coming out actually soon. So
oh really?
That's just, one of my students like very fascinated what I do in my life and travel around the world. And I have and then like wow, this is you need to write about. Okay, you should write. So I have all the performance profiles and the interviews in all different places and the newspapers and then I've been collected. They're like okay, right. So then she wrote overwrote things with the 900 pages. Then she need to down with the 300 pages. So she rewriting a book. So that's what's happening. That's my life history. So
this is wonderful. I love this story. And so the reason you came to America was to bring the tradition here?
Traditions, and also that I was being invited to teach what I do.
Okay.
And then I feel like, wow, people need more there. We have more people in Nepal. Not that much people need it. So I feel like it's need to go to the international way. So,
wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we can now talk about that a little bit. So what is it that you do? Like what exactly is this with dance and stuff? Because when most
So
people hear about Buddhism, they don't think about dancing.
yeah, yeah, that's the regions. I was here in America because in a, Buddhism in America conference happening or Buddhism conference is happening. They never nobody talk about the dance
Never.
importance. They didn't talk about the dance. They talk about intellectual way. They talk about the lot the high level, but they don't talk about the embodiment. So
Right.
embodiment is like that. My dance is like you may see a lot of statues, thousands of years old statues with all the different deities, so many different deities they have. So how you take that in with the specific way is not only the, oh, this means the wisdom, this means the compassion, this means the four noble truth, this it doesn't mean how you take in that four noble truth embodiment with that four noble truth so you can share with the other people. So the dance is in this dance have a really specifically described. It's like a sadhana,
Mm.
like meditations. When you are in a meditation, when you are visualizing, it's like every little figures, what they are in the statues and the paintings, and they have a meanings behind we call that like the statues or painting is like the whole universe isn't there. What we need to be learn for the perfect human being.
Mhm.
So every gesture like if like a simple gestures, if you make it like my father is making that simple gesture, which we giving with this like it's like how is that it doesn't like like a streak and it just be natural way. It's moved through with this. It's generosity, kindness, and give to others. So same way like you give with the generosity and kindness to the others. So and then the left hand, it's a holding with this finger, this index finger. It's index fingers when you look into the scientific way, it goes through all the way to the mind. That's why they call it Jnana Mudra. It means knowledge mudra or wisdom mudra. So when that is working with the knowledge, with the brain is being clear and the mind is clear, that it comes with the knowledge is. So that knowledge, and then they usually hold in often with those deities, they hold with the beautiful flowers, like that they call blue flowers or red flowers. It depends on what the deities are and what they are trying to give the wisdom. So for example, like they have a white flowers they hold, that means white means like the clear, white means also the elements of the water, so they can blend the water. If you keep the waters in any pot they make a balance in the same way.
Mhm.
So that's kind of nature, like I am embracing everybody and equalities to bring you that tradition. If the blue flowers, they will often hold that blue flower. Blue flower is represents as the sky. So in the sky means infinite way of wisdoms that I'm holding the soft and gentle way. Wisdom's giving the soft and gentle way to passing on to everyone. So that's what's giving. This means the giving. So when you have in a pose with they also call the Tribhanga. Tribhanga means the three different body separation. The three different separation means that way we have a head and bodies and the hip. So when they make that separation, it's create a wave in the body. So that's what we call the yogic pose. Those are the yogic pose, which is very compassionate, and also it is created the wave in the body, so you can be balance, making a balance in the body. So then they have all the ornaments and every little things like how many layers of the ornaments and what is their holding and what that means, how you can apply into the daily life. For example, like I have a big earrings here, you may see that is always keep the earring here. So earring is in the Buddhist patterns and in my traditions, like you will see that in the Buddhist deities, like the male deities or female deities, they always have big earring, they keep it. So earring is a patience, considered to patient. So most importance of the life, like you need to be patient. Overnight, nothing going to be happen. And the other side, like this air, like if you go to the Chinese medicine, like there's a whole body in here, in the air. If you just massage a little bit, it just generates everything's in the body. And other part is like what you are in a based on present day. Based on the present day, it's basically what you're hearing. If
Mm.
you hear good things like, oh, how great, wonderful. If you heard bad things, how bad you are, So we don't have a way of analyzing what are you hearing that is really true? What are you hearing that is really connected to me? We don't have that way. So if you have a patience way of hearing and analyzing that what you hear, it is true or not true. Your body, your mind, your whatever you are in the present day, it can change. So like why we fight each other, you hear something, you say something, this other person says something, then you hear like anger, that as soon as you hear the bad thing, it goes through brain and making anger. Then if you have a hearing, proper way of hearing, that we call the Srotamaya Pragya, in a wisdom way of hearing. You hear bad thing, oh great, I'm getting hearing so wonderful thing because I did something wrong to this person. So I have to see that what is that is wrong. Rather than reflecting bad, so you just analyzing that what I did wrong for you, because it make you anger for you. If you have that way, world is so different. So this is the area. That's what they representing in the deities, which is little earring they keep their way, so that is compassion, so that is a generosity, so that is the analyzings you have a capacity to do it. That we call that as in a Buddha Dharma like a flop the coins in the 2 seconds. One things you have anger, like that anger is like oh, where this come from, and immediately you realize that way flop the coin is dissolved in 2 seconds. So that's the part which is symbolized in all the ornaments. So we have a generosity, we have a belt, we have a bracelet. You may see that you have an ankle belt, you have a crowns, you have everything. Those are the really importance for the life. So that if you can have it that way, if you don't need to like in a practice of the tantras and do just like a visualizing, I have that is just touching like I have a generosity and kindness and love, So that's why the every deity they always have a three layers of the ornaments in a necklace, and a generosity, kindness, and love come from here. So if you don't have a generosity, kindness, and love, you not be the human being, So to be a human beings, those need the proper human being. You need to have it that way. So that's also the like when you do that way, also they keep it in the outer, inner, and secret. Like, are you just generosity for the public? Are you just a generosity doing for just your own sake of your own benefit? Or so there's many different layers in there. That's why it's like, are you doing really do the generosity? Are you doing just pretending the generosity? Are you just doing the compassion just to show up? So that's why you need to see that way. So that's why they show you that way in the three layers. So I have understandings like as soon as you say something not right, you're doing for generosity for show up, you generosity for what do you call to just for your own benefit, or generosity for all benefit for all sins and beings. So those are the symbolic meanings of which is applied into the body, and you can see easily, when you are the deeper meditator, you can see that as someone doing some things just to show up. So, that's why it's like outer, inner, and secret. That is, people show up with the golds and chains, like, hey, I have these things, people saw this is valuable, they hide it a little, tiny little inside, there's many different regions that is how you keep the ornaments in here. So, but in the Buddhist patterns, like the Buddhist traditions, those are the symbolic meaning people should learn, people should take it in, just not really and use in a practical way. So that's why it's belt, and the belt is called the effort. You have to keep the effort to receive something. You cannot just come that way. Wherever you eat, then it's a go digest. If you don't eat, there's nothing to digest. So, and then effort is the belly does lots of things So that's what the belly part is like. Anything you wear, anything you tight, anything zip up. That's like a feels when you wear something here. You need to do some things to get some things. So that's kind of an ambassador, like the ankle belts and bracelet, like those are the more like the discipline they call. Discipline is like if you go to acupuncture and if you go to any healer, they only, first of all, they check the pulse first, hold your intention, emotion in here, in a pulse. If the pulse is good, you will good. If you're disciplined in this, ankle belts and the feet, that's the more powers and more energy, more you keep the body in, make it the perfect. If you something wrong goes in the pulse, that means something happening. So you need to make a discipline. And the other hand, like all the crazy fight and the harmings and those things happenings with the hand. But the discipline in that sense also you go to the temple, you take up the shoes, then you go to the church, you do sparkling the waters, you do, there's every temple, every place you go, they have their own way. So you will honor and respect, then you have to do it. So that's kind of like you need to train the discipline in the tradition. So those are the symbolic way of meaning. So when we become as a dancer, then when you are a preparation for the having a custom, so we just okay, I will take in a discipline, I will do whatever is need to be done. I will be patient, I will be generosity, I will be made. And then other one is generosity. Then other one is called the crowns, which is called meditation. I will be working with my consciousness, my awareness. And then I will work with there's also bindi they call tika. So you may see that all the deities have one drop in the third eyes. This that's symbolized with the wisdom we call. So I will work with the conscious mind, and anything I do with the meaningful way. That means the wisdom. So even like a dress, and then colors, each colors have is different. There's lots of deities, the different colors. So those are also repeated as different deities too. So that's why it is tradition. So when you are embodiment, so you bring that all in a deity, fully body, then your body will be changed. So when you're dancing, you're not anymore, your body is dancing. So some things in a body, it's completely changed. You became completely different person. That's the way we do the dance in the dance traditions.
That's wonderful. And so you said the wrists and the ankles are disciplined. So these are like the paramitas, right?
Yeah.
And then the belt is like joyful effort.
Yeah, joyful effort. Yeah, that's also Joseph has also written about that in his book.
Yeah, his books. He's going to come back on the show, and we're going to talk about his book next time.
Yeah.
You too. When your book's done, you have to come back on. We'll do it.
Definitely. Yeah. That's definitely
Okay. So now you've got it all on. So like you're embodying these qualities of the specific deity. So every deity will have a different color, like you said. So those colors are representing like the elements or different energies.
Yeah, different energy, different element. Yeah.
And then you said it's like a sadhana. So this is like a fixed dance, or is it more like spontaneous and improvisational, or is it like following a fixed method?
Oh, it's a basically fixed method that you can say.
Okay.
So sadhana is like each deities have each different sadhana. So you bring it that is with the mantras and the visualizations and recite the mantras and bring it to settle in the body, and then to wear all the customs and build up with your customs. So you completely different. So and each deities have each different energy and each different wisdom they're sharing with that. So they have a different way of practice, each deities. So that's all based on the sadhana. So some are like a really wrathful deities. I just did in Chicago with the Joseph with the Vajrapani, wrathful, like thundering lightnings and all everything like a shakies and it's very scary, painted with the foam. It's scary. You may see it in his book that. So that's also the other different sadhana. Even you are the wrathful, even you are the crazies and the powerful. We also still call compassions that one. It's a deities for the overcomes obstacles. Because sometimes, like those deities represent, they say like a soft and compassion sometimes doesn't work. You know, oh honey, it's okay. Don't worry. Doesn't work. Like over and over that something mistake happenings over and over, and then it's just like hey, that's okay. It doesn't work. Hey, no, that's not like you just like aggressive that way. This I mean it. Then it's a goes lost. It's like the babies, running to running to the street. You're just like, hey, it's like don't do it. It just make you you have a compassion's love still there, but make sure that it's not repeat over and over in the same mistake. Mm-hmm. So that's why those deities became as the compassion, so that is in angers and hatreds and all the rightful ways, like everything like so. It's just like just to think about that way in the wrong way, it just take away. So they usually say that like that they took the root of your bad thinkings and the bad way of thinking and bad way of presenting, that they took it so you don't repeat again. Yeah. So that's what they are for. There are lots of ratful deities. So yeah. We have lots of them. So we do dance with those deities too. They have a tiger skin. They have a difference, little bit slightly different. They have a snake. Sometimes they have a tiger skin. Sometimes they have a human hives, human even skins they have. So those are the represented that way. Even they have a hives of the human beings, human skin basically. So human skin is considered. It is symbolic mean. It's not like a real. Just to show that way. I have every parts of the bodies. I have a connected. That's why I'm presenting that I'm wrathful, I'm crazy, but I have every part of human beings. I have in cover with my body. So that's what's represented that way. Wow. And tiger is, I'm strong. I'm like a don't fool around with me. So, but so this is like this really symbolic meaning. So we can take it into the daily life. It's make a change in a pathway. So. Sure.
So, okay. So you're doing the dance, but then also you're still doing this when you take off all of the stuff, you're still feeling this way throughout the day.
Yeah. That's what the practice is. Yeah.
That's the practice. And that's the embodiment too, right? We're trying to move our habits away, purify the habits, and put these wisdom energies in.
Yeah. Wisdom. Everything transformed with wisdom. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I say lots of people, with a raffle deity, you shake everything, every muscle will be used for those raffle deities, and 5 minutes you're done. And so 5 minutes you're done, like that. Within 5 minutes, every strings in your body, you shake it up. So you don't need to go to the gym for the hours to spend, you just take off all the sweaty, it just shake it up, everything, and then make it the perfect. Within. That's about powers with that deity. So
yeah. So okay, so dancing is not part of all the Buddhist traditions, correct?
Not one. Dancing is like the wisdom embodiment with the wisdom. So when you dance, like you have let's say like a Buddhist philosophy, a Buddhist canon of so many different things in the Buddha Dharma. There's unlimited that the Buddhist teaching. So that's like an intellectual. So you remember that, this is, that. But when you're dancing that way, if you don't know the meanings in the what you're dancing, right. If you don't know the embodiment, that the meaning, it doesn't come from the heart. Right. Just make it dance. Oh, I am dancing. You can. You have to know meaning, and you have to know that how that meaning inner way. So it's coming out from the inside, and coming out to that. So meaning is coming from the embodiment with all the whatever that philosophy, the Buddhist teaching. It have to be coming from there, so people can understandings that is. What that look like. Right. If you read the book, Paramita, you just read, okay, compassion, kindness, generosity, meditation, all. So when you have that in like a compassion, feel like even like emotions, it's a change, So it's that what the dance is about. Mm-hmm. that every aspect of the wisdoms so you can embodiment with
Yeah.
that.
That seems so smart. That seems so powerful.
Yeah, that's why it's been thousands of years, been carry on to
Yeah.
still in today. So
And so we hear a lot like in the old masters, like in India, like the Mahasiddhas and stuff, like that they were singing and they were doing these.
dancing, yeah, that's the key point.
So
Then
they
in the earliest text, in the earliest tantra text, they usually say that without singing and dancing, there's no way to get enlightenment.
who said that?
That is in the Hebajra Tantra.
The Vajra Tantra.
So it's a say that in that sense, like where dancing is the meditations. So
Ah.
dancing is like in a Buddhist tradition is like when you dance, not just only dance without thinking. Dance every single movement have a meaning behind there. So when you're dancing, it's when you're meaning coming out. It's about the meditation. It's happening in the meditation there. Every little movement is the meditation, moving through with your body, fully awareness. That is the meditation. When you come with the singing in the top of that dancing, is the singing is a vocal. Singing is like the awakening is in the inner channels with all the channels goes into body. When you combine together with the meditations and the channels, the awakening, the awakening things is happening. That's why it's the mantras. And the singing is a mantra they call. So we have a conscious way of singing or meaningful way of singing that became a mantra. So when you combine together, that's why it's the awakening thing happening. That's why the enlightenment is happening. So that's why in the Hebrew Tantra, without singing and dancing, don't even think about it. You can get enlightenment.
That's wonderful. So there's so we also have like other Buddhist yogis like true core. So so the dancing is a kind of a different version of the true core. Does similar things.
Yeah, I mean, they say, the Buddha's taught about hundreds of thousands, the 84,000 sutras and the many different way of enlightenment. This is the one way to get enlightenment too. So there's many, if you got to go to the Theravada tradition, they have a 500 arhata kind of like enlightened. They are mostly in the arhatas, like there's a sweep in the temple all day long, without agitation, without, clear mind, clear vision, like, oh, I'm helping other. So if you can do with the pure visions, and then you can sweep, you can clean in toilet all day long. This is helping for others, So anything you're benefiting other people without hesitate, you can get enlightened. You can get a enlightened path.
Uh-huh.
So that's So that's what's in the Buddha's like. You don't need to be only that way, or only do this meditation. There's many different way of meditation. That's what's embracing the whole every sentient beings. That's what the Buddha did it.
Yeah.
So there's only one way. There's many different way, but conscious mind, awareness, compassion, and bring that all in the unite everyone. So that's just about power.
That's really nice to hear. And I think people are surprised when they hear this because I think, they start a meditation practice and they got to keep doing that all the way to enlightenment.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's also the other part, like you are born in that way or you are taught in that way, and then your mind is been settled in that way, so you need to move forward with that way. And so also that we have a different sect, you may know that it's in Tibetan tradition, they have 4 different sects. Then if you come to the Theravada tradition, they have many, it's like if you go to Thailand, if you go to Burma, if you go to Sri Lanka, you have every country is a very little difference in everywhere. And in newer Buddhist traditions, like there's also the Mahayana traditions who only believe about the Mahayana, which is about we have a Navasutra Grantha, which is 9 different way of making that enlightenment, so like making understandings the philosophies, then coming to the tantra path, like mantras, and go in the cemeteries and go in the crazy wild yogi way of practicing, some like just sit in the wherever peaceful place, so basically like whatever make you is like a comfort for you, and choose that path and continues that path. So that's the way to get enlightened. That's why, in our, my traditions, like the enlightened have a many different layer. So you need to be happy first, whatever you do. That's the first level of enlightenment. If you live in the currently for the rest of your life, living happy, you already have enlightened there. Without happiness, like a frustration, oh, this news, oh, this crazy, oh, this person, oh, this friend, you have a full of the craziness is happening. You're not close to the enlightened at all. Just keep away, wow, it's happening. Let's enjoy it that way. What you can do, like I have other day I discussed a little bit with my students, like, okay, you have a lot of wisdom, like lots of things happening in the world, lots of crazy, there's a war, there's crazy things happening, you got all the wisdom. What do you do with this wisdom? You're sharing me, so I take that, or what I can do that way. That's your wisdom, If that help me, or if that help you, or if that help the world, it doesn't help that way. So main point, like that, take it. You don't need to this like more go to the inner world. It means inside yourself and awaken more, rather than there's all the things that happen in the world. There's so many things, so you cannot handle that. It's beyond than you can think. So keep away that kind of part. That's why the materialism is not exist in the Buddha path. If you need to enlighten, if you need to be liberation, then that need to be keep away. So once you have a living with the happy, or you can take it that way and then change it that it's your way of thinking, and it is make you happy, then that's the way to go. The first things in the enlightenment is the happy. Whatever you do is happy, without complaining, without craziness. And then second levels comes with the second levels come with a little bit awareness. Now it's like, okay, I'm happy, I'm living that, what is happening in the world? I got awareness with that, like what someone say, what that means in behind there. And someone do something, like what is behind there. So keep the awareness in everywhere, but live it in the happy. So don't take away the happiness. So once you have a happiness and keep the awareness with around with you, or people with around with you, or with your beloved, wherever that is around with you, it will keep you awareness. That's built with a consciousness more. And more you consciousness more, you start building your awareness like, okay, anybody start saying something, you know what is the intention behind there. That's the Buddhas, from those yogis, far away, they can see what their intentions to come to see me. They don't need to ask any questions, those master, So you build with that way in the third level. Like as soon as people walking, what you can see in their eyes, their whatever nose, you can they will see that is what their intention. If you build that way, you get it, and then the end of that, everything's in the past, present, and futures in this whole world, what it's going to be. So that's the fully enlightened. So first enlightened, you need to be living in the happy. So once you have a living in a happy, then the world will be changing. Your world will be changing. So, but sometimes happy, sometimes not happy, sometimes anger, that doesn't mean that's not like you are close to the enlightenment, I'm drinking, lots of people like, oh, I drank today, yay, I'm so happy, So that's a different different happy. So that's I'm saying that as, living happy in all your lungs with your life, that's making difference. Then you can anything you wanted in your life and success in your path, and that's making transformations. So
Yeah. So this is so important and so interesting, because I think many of your probably students, the people you meet here in the West, we're very serious. And when we study and learn in school, everything was like very rigorous, and it wasn't happy. We had to do it. And so I think when we meet the Buddha Dharma, we approach it with this serious mind, like we're trying to understand it, but there's no baseline of happiness per se.
Well, it's a simple, basically, baseline is just to know the fact, the truth. Okay, where did you get anger? You think that this person making other person, you always blame the other person make you anger. So like what make you anger with that is other person do, you know. So if you know the root, or if you know the regions anger, it is because of your reflections. You do with some things not right for this person. So making anger for our person, so that reflect you anger. So it's like just need to train a little bit that ways. Anger coming from your own, because you don't like it certain things, so it is anger you. It's not like other person's. So that's what we need to train in the schools, you know.
Yeah. So all the crazy things, if they are affecting us, but they're making us angry, it's still us. We need to, it's our own.
We need to find a way to how to get away from them. So that's the reality, you know. If you are like the news hearings about a killing everywhere, you know, so like wow, this is like a crazy world. This is like, what are you gonna do? It's like lots of things happening. So let's keep away. So if you don't hear it, then go away, you know. I mean, what you can do like the changing the world? Oh, you have to be like the changing world. You have to be like the Dalai Lama, you know. One side like he have a royalty, he have a compassion, kindness to the world. You can share with the compassion, kindness. At least people get some wisdoms, you know. So, but as a normal being, like you've got lots of crazy things happening. You're just sitting in the rooms to get anger. It doesn't go anywhere. So why are you making upset yourself, and you creating upset to the other, your friend, you know? So you need to learn. We need to change it. What is my good path? So making happy for my own inner happiness. Where did that go? Go to hiking. Go to biking. You know. Wow. It's need to do.
Yeah.
So if you create it, that's what we need to teach. Like there is always the path. There is always the way to happiness is there. So we just need to find your own, because everybody's different, you know.
Yeah. So that's very simple. That's very common sense. That's
common sense to use. Yeah, that's needed.
So when you were coming to America and you were working as busboy and painting houses, you're still happy.
I'm still happy. I have to do what I need to do to survive. Yeah. And whatever I got it, I'm so lucky I got it, that job, you know. It's never paint in my life, never worked in a bus boy. But, I'm learning something. I'm, big. So I feel that way. So.
And you were still embodying these qualities of the paramitas, of the deities as you're painting.
Yeah, that's the important. That's what from practice. So that's coming from practice. So.
That's so wonderful. And so, okay, so let's go revisit the deity for a second here. So we've got all the qualities, and so that's the physical thing. And then the mental, or then we're singing, and this is working with the energy and the channels.
Yeah, it's basically like the mantras they called in a Sanskrit term, mantra-anusarani mantra. Mantra coming from the heart, mantra coming from the make you in the peace, mantra coming for your self, the self protections, mantra coming for your, once you have a self protections of self, what do you call that as? Initiations, it's happening with the mantra. Mantra is the sounds, and it sounds like when the master developed the mantras, it's like connected to the bullet point in the bodies, like a bullet point. So when you hit that mantras, then it just make you transformation happening. So singing like the same way, those word, it's a hit in a certain way, and then you sing. That's why I'm saying that singing just I'm just singing loud. I'm singing with the have to be meaning behind, and that singing also have to be embodiment, the meaning where does come from, and then once you have it that way, it's making transformations happening. So in the Chakra Samvartana, they have every mantras how. Every deity's mantras goes where this goes in the nerve, and how that generate that mantras. It's been described with in the Chakra Samvartana. So it's just fascinating to see those like you just not reciting a mantra. Basically, you just unlocking your bullet point in the bodies to generate That's is about the mantra. Yes.
So when you're dancing or when you're doing mantra, you know all this.
Yeah, we dance. We initiated peoples. That's the dance is about like that. We need to empower us and connect it to the deity. So in the other hand, like we call the diksha in the Sanskrit terms. So they means the more you get the initiation means you get into the deeply into the deities. So you can easily embodiment that. And our sadhana, we have every Wednesday we do the sadhana. So you become as a deities. That's also the other part. So every sadhana we have like you become yourself. So it is, in the New Buddhist studies, and those deities are not deities. They are our reflections, our inner qualities. So take that inner qualities, you are become part of that. So deities with you. So we don't have deities in the far away. Deities with you. So that's the tradition.
Wonderful. This is part of the Vajrayana tradition.
Vajrayana tradition, yeah. We don't have a deity. It's all about the emptiness. Emptiness means nothing. Not means emptiness means nothing. But emptiness is something. Their qualities. So we work with the qualities. Not the deity is like a reflections of the quality. So you can take that qualities and embody with the quality. You become the deity. So you are the deities. And those are the deities who's created by the master. So it's not just why we have thousands of deities. So we have people need the different qualities for their life. So the master from the visions, they appear in the master visions. So they are established that way. So we can reflect that way. So you can bring our inner qualities to life. That's about.
Very good. So yeah, because I think people are confused with this term deity sometimes.
Yeah, deities is like mostly other tradition with the Christianities, God is blessed, come you to bless you. So Hinduism's like the God is there to come to bless you. Buddhism's like keep the effort and the mind, and it's just reflecting you, and you become a deity. So that's the power. That's the difference in the Vajrayana tradition. So.
And so you said the deities are empty.
Deities is empty in that sense, like the impermanent. Nothing's in the permanent. So.
Yeah.
Forever. So, but until we live, we have qualities of that to change it with the good quality and bring the good qualities. So you are carry in the good qualities to people. That's the part.
So is this right? So let's say somebody's new and they get introduced to the deity.
Mm-hmm.
So could we say over time they're building those qualities? They get better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, simple ways I'm being, introduced to the deities like the paramitas, first of all. So every human beings, if you are the good person, you have the compassions. Every human beings, you have a generosity, compassions. That's important. Every human beings, they have to be good. They have to be a patient. And every human beings to be good, they have to be effort. Every human being, they need to learn something. They need to get a discipline. And those 4 things make a difference. Once you have 4 things together in the become as the one, then it is we call the conscious mind with the meditations. So then other 5 paramitas comes with the meditation. Then with the conscious is working there, everything turning what you do in your life is turning through wisdom. It's a meaningful way. So that's 6 paramita. So that's what the deity is about. Every deities have the 6 paramitas as the ornament. The tools as ornament. And so we can take it that way, and you become as a part. It's not hard, just need to your daily life need to practice those things. If you get anger, I have compassion for you. If you get something's happening in their life, you have some things to do with that. So if you can manage that, awareness build, it's changed completely. So.
Mm-hmm. So it's body, speech, and mind. So that mind's the awareness.
Yeah. Yeah. There's if you also look into body is like this physical body, So what do you know about physical body? Do you have a hair grow in here? Hair doesn't go in there. Certain part of bodies that go in here, and then the eyes in the different does in the nose and the teeth and every little part of the body is a different thing. They speaking themselves is every little part in the zillions of part of the body speaking itself. So that's the speech. It is in the other part. So body is a physical, but speech, every part is speaking. And then in the body, speech, mind is there, which is like a seeing all everything. One piece of here, you pick there, it's so painful. Why we get a painful? We have thousands of here everywhere. So one piece of here is so important. It does something there. So mind is connected to the wow, this is it. So that's why it's a body, speech, mind, you kind of separate that one. It's all combined together, but keep the awareness with that, the body is just only the physical body. Body have a internal, then, the connections with that. Every little veins have a connections to do with that and connected to the mind. So how whole unit with who this body is. So, that's why Buddha Dharma is a precious. This body is very precious.
Mm-hmm.
Main body is very precious. Don't waste the time. Just waste the doing nothing. Do some things to make it generate. So
yeah, that's wonderful. And I think some people confused about this. So I've had some other Buddhist practitioners when I talk oh, the body's very interesting like this. They actually kind of get a little angry with me because they think no, the body's bad. Just the mind.
Well, everybody have this respect. That's the crazy thing, how they train, how they grow up based on what they learn. And then it's if we go to a hospital, they train a certain way, so they don't know if the other way comes, many type of bodies, they don't know. They have if you get a headache, this is the medicines, you can get it. But there's other way for the medicines, which is Ayurvedic. They didn't give the aspirins in the Ayurvedic. They didn't give in the homeopathic. They didn't give in the naturopathic. It's a completely different medicine. But there's other way to treat your headache. They didn't know sometimes because how they train, they think that is the right way to do. That's also in the Buddha Dharma, how they train, they know that much. They didn't open the where what this world is, how people in a different ways, It's we have India and Nepal, a lot of spices. And I was meeting with somebody in Russia, what do you spice you use? Nothing, salt and pepper, Hey, you are healthy or not healthy? It is healthy they are, You can eat the salt and pepper. It can be healthy. You don't need all the herb, to make it healthy. So it's also the other part, we are the animals, how you grow up, some are stay in the winters with the snows, bears and the penguins and all the birds, they live in the winter, without any that, but, some people cannot. So same concept that. If you have old way visions, and then it's make a change. But if you have one way path, this is the way only way to get enlightened, then that is not the way to go, in my sense. For there's a many different ways. This is it. You do this, you do this, you do this. No, you don't know understanding my bodies, that work in my body. So you need to pay attention. That's why the Buddha that. Pay attention to your own body. See what is good for you. And then what arises in the mind, what is meaningful for you, and move forward with that path.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But for your own body, it's very different than others. You need to comfort for yourself and what make you the better, and not thinking first things don't do bad things. There's no killings, no cheating, no stealing, that kind of thing. And beside that, you have to keep to your own bodies. That's why it's in the Vipassana meditations and Samatha meditations came with that way. So concentrate mind in your own, what arises. It may be different than other people. You may not be the same exactly the other people. It's okay to have it that way.
Okay.
That's why it's, many different, masters that comes with I was a 84 great master, Mahasiddhas, when you're looking at Buddha sit in meditation pose, and then Mahashita come like all different pose, like how that happened that way? No, doesn't need to be in the same pose to get enlightened. You
Yeah.
can be your own pose. This recognize your own pose is the most important.
Okay.
What it is make you comfort, so you can hold on to that comfort and stay there, and you can be enlightened. You don't need to be Vajracharya always time. So full
One.
load.
So that's like having trust in yourself.
Yeah, trust. You need to be trust. If you don't trust, what else you can do? It's your part of the mind. You need to trust, and you need to. But to trust means like, I love to drink alcohol. I love to drink marijuana. That's not the way to go. Without any other substance to eat and drink, you can make it that peaceful way. Then it's making difference. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is within the structure of the
yeah,
paramita.
paramita. Yeah,
And
that's
then
it.
from within there, you start to be able to go your own way, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have the vision sometimes that in the West, all these traditions are coming and it's new for us. Like we're typically our mom or dad did not practice Dharma.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
the world's like no, but like there's a Christianity there, there's the Judaism, there's many different religions there. That period of times is they made it that way. If I follow with the Buddhas and the truthness, then I'm gonna lose my identity. Then
mm,
the high ranking people like hey, don't listen to them. Hey, come to you. If you don't follow me, we'll kill you and bring that to their own traditions. They don't look for the logicness, and logicness sometimes doesn't work in the reality. So Buddha's like in 2500, not a single things what the Buddha say is still in the present day, which is more meaningful. The rest of like okay, you do this practice, you do this practice. What I'm getting, what is the reason behind? Buddha have that all the reasons behind there. It's some things will be changing in the switching in the mind. Not the devotional. Only bhakti. A lot of people are bhakti yoga. They call devotees. No, whereas devotees, you need to understandings first, and then make that meaningful way. Then it's make a change. Yeah, that's life is meaningful. Look at this in the plants, like so winter comes and summer comes, and then they just do what you need to do. We also need to do the same ways, like what you are, who you are. Get movement, but be awareness in the body. So once you have awareness in the body, you can be connected with everyone. You be friend with anyone. So you don't get the enemies. You don't create the enemies. So also the religious part, I'm not like saying, Buddhist is better that way, in that way, but all the religious is better. But all the religious have the compassion, kindness, and there. So those part is to take away. Don't take away that part, and then you have to do it this way, And mostly people are very aggressive, like in the religious part, like if you don't do it, you go to hell room, Where's the hell? Where's the heaven? Hell will be great, For me to like go to the hell room, what is there going on there? To see that way is a great things, Why not, So as a human being, you need to experience with the luxuries in all different things. So why not go to the hell room to see what it look like there? So it'll be great to experience. So. Yeah. So that's what somebody's saying, like, it is many different paths and many different ways and many different, the traditions, many different religions in this world. So we have a little awareness, and then it is what is really good for you. And most of the people like they are, my father's has done this, my granny's done, grandpa has done this. So people just carry on that tradition. It is also great. But a lot of people in Nepal like we have the people carry on that tradition, and then they didn't know what they didn't know even the meanings what they're doing. They just need to do. My grandfather did it. They just did it continuously, and they don't know about the meaning behind there, and they continue. So that's the bad part. If you know the meaning, if you are in this lifetime, you should know the meaning and move forward with the meaning. It's make a difference.
Mm.
So,
Oh, that's important. Exactly. I'm glad you said that.
yeah, anything you do, it's a meaning. It's have to be meaning behind.
Yeah.
Just not randomly do it because my father did it, my grandfather did it.
Yeah.
So, way
So
to go.
that's the mind aspect. That's the awareness of the imagination part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's as important because it's you doing. So you're just doing for the without any meanings. There's no point.
Good point. Agree. All right. Is there anything else that we didn't get to that you want to share?
Yeah, I think so. I cover a little bit, but this kind of things like a never ending. So
Yeah.
more dig, more things coming out. So I think so. It's a good for if to
Yeah.
start.
Well, thank you so much. This was wonderful, and so glad you're here and you took the time to come to the West and share this.
Come to visit Portland. We have a beautiful temples. We have beautiful programs that are happening here. So yeah.
Yeah. And how do people find out? Can they study with you? How do people find you?
We have a two-way page. So dancemandal.com. It's a dance, DANCEMANDAL. Don't keep the A, Dance Mandala. There's the other web page. Somebody taken that other person. That is the web page. So my is Dance Mandal, DANCEMANDAL.com. And then I have also the temple work web page with the Portland, Baja. Portland, PORTLAND, and then Baha, BAHA, lowercase, and ORG. That's his webpage. So there's all information there where we do activities, and we have online and Zoom basically. So singing practice and sadhana practice and dharana practice. It's free to join. Anyone can join. It's free.
Wonderful. Okay, and I'll share the links in the show notes for people so they can find you.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Bye,
Great.
Prajwal.